Hey guys, so this is my model for the positive negative pressure project we have. To show how it works, so the red balloon right here is going to represent the lungs and the blue balloon is going to represent the diaphragm. So to show how it works, if you pull down on the diaphragm, the balloon is going to inflate. You push up on the diaphragm, it's going to deflate. So when we're talking about ventilations, overventilating the lungs can actually do a lot of damage to the lung tissue. So when you overinflate the lungs like this, you can kind of see it takes up a little bit more space in the diaphragm. And the lungs actually try to fix this by taking in more and more and more air. So doing this actually can make your lung tissue less stretchy over time. It can also start to kill off some of your lung tissue as well. So when we're talking about the rate, normal rate is usually 12 to 20 respirations per minute. You don't want to be on the lower end or the higher end of that. Being on the lower end, not getting enough oxygen to your lungs, to your brain, to the rest of your body. So that can cause a lot of problems. Then your muscles, you can get a headache, feel a little weak. So when we're talking about overventilating the lungs, this can cause a couple of problems. CO2 is not going to be getting circulated throughout the body like it should, and this can cause a couple of problems such as lightheadedness and a little bit of tachycardia. You don't want to be overventilating the lungs because you don't want too much CO2 being trapped inside, and you want to be able to get enough oxygen in and enough CO2 out at the same time. So when we talk about the quality of the pressure chamber, what happens if it gets damaged? So if it gets damaged, it's not going to be able to hold its pressure anymore, and that can eventually end up collapsing the lungs, which is not something we would want. So for example, say you damage the pressure chamber. For example, let's use a punctured lung, so or a punctured diaphragm or a punctured chamber. As you can see, I poked 3 holes in the side of the model, and to show that it's not really inflating as much as it was before, and it really takes away that pressure. So when we're treating a puncture in a pre-hospital setting, you usually want to use a occlusive dressing. This is going to help keep the pressure back inside and keep it from escaping. To show on the model, the occlusive dressings is going to be represented by the hockey tape. So to show, for example, got the occlusive dressings in, you're going to start to see a little bit more inflation. It's going to keep the pressure inside. This is not a permanent fix, obviously. You're going to need to go to the hospital and get that figured out. But as you can see, it is going to keep a little bit of pressure back inside, and it's going to keep your lungs from collapsing. So this is my model, and thanks for watching, everyone.